everyone, and welcome back to our silent journey. If you joined us for part 1, thank you for coming back. And if today's your very first episode, I'm so glad you're here. Last week, we had the privilege of hearing Destiny courageously share her experience with postpartum depression. She invited us into one of the most vulnerable seasons of her life and reminded us that postpartum depression isn't something you can always see. Sometimes it looks like a smile, it sounds like I'm okay, and it's a battle that's being fought completely in silence. After we finished recording part 1, I found myself sitting there with everything Destiny shared, and I kept replaying different moments in my mind. And one thought just kept coming back. When someone is struggling with postpartum depression, they're not the only one living through it. The people who love them, their spouses, their families, their closest friends, they're living through it too. Not in the same way, but in their own way. Trying to understand, trying to help, trying to love someone through something they can't simply take away. And that's exactly why I wanted today's conversation to continue. Because while Destiny has shared what postpartum depression felt like from the inside, there was someone walking beside her through every doctor's appointment, every difficult day, every uncertain moment. Someone who loved her deeply, but couldn't always see the battle she was fighting. Tali, thank you so much for being here. I know it isn't easy to sit down and revisit one of the hardest seasons of your family's life. So before we begin, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being willing to share your perspective. I truly believe there are going to be husbands, partners, and family members listening today who are going to hear pieces of themselves in your story. And just like I shared with Destiny in part 1, I want to say the same thing to you. There's absolutely no pressure today. If we get to a question that feels too emotional or too personal, or simply you don't want to answer it, that's completely okay. We'll skip it, take a minute, or go wherever this conversation naturally takes us. Today isn't about having the perfect answers. It's about having an honest conversation. So thank you both for trusting me and everyone listening with your story. Tali, I'd love to start with something a little different. Last week, we heard Destiny describe everything that was happening inside her mind during that season. The thoughts she was carrying, the emotions she was trying to navigate, and the pressure she felt. I'd love to know, what did the same season look like from where you were standing?
During that time, you could tell that something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. It's a lot of sadness, not smiling. It's our first child, so you hear about postpartum depression, but you don't really know what it does to your partner. So I was trying to do everything I could, but sometimes it felt like anything I did was not helping.
Thank you for sharing that. Listening to you talk, I'm realizing something. So often we ask moms how they're doing, and we absolutely should. But I don't think we ask partners often enough, how are you holding up? Because while your experience wasn't the same, you were carrying something heavy too. You were watching the person you love struggle and trying to figure out how to help. Tali, what was the hardest part about watching the person you love go through something you couldn't take away?
Hardest part was my wife naturally just always happy, always smiling. And there was little to none of that during that time.
Destiny, hearing Tali describe what he was carrying during that season, what's going through your mind? Did you realize he was experiencing it that way?
No, I think I was really just wrapped up in myself and in our son, and so I definitely neglected our marriage in that time, just not feeding into or pouring into his cup at all. So it's kind of sad to hear.
I think one of the things that really stands out to me is that postpartum depression can make everyone feel alone. Even when they're standing right beside each other. Destiny, you were carrying the weight of everything happening inside your own mind, and Tali, you were carrying the weight of watching someone you love hurt without always knowing how to help. Neither of you stopped loving each other, but both of you were carrying something neither of you could fully see. Tali, was there ever a moment where you realized, I don't have to have all the answers, I just need to keep showing up?
Yes. I think all the little things that you continue to do, whether just talking or getting home and doing something, those little things add up to something, add up to the bigger picture.
I love that because I think so many people believe supporting someone means finding the perfect words or fixing the problem, when sometimes the greatest act of love is simply staying, showing up, listening, and reminding someone they're not walking through it alone. Destiny, looking back now, was there something Tali did during that season that probably seemed so small to him but meant everything to you?
Definitely. I mean, kind of like he said, just the little things. So I had kind of mentioned before, he had got the fridge for me to put in the room, so I didn't have to leave. Mm-hmm. And he gave me a lot of encouragement, just to try to find myself. And so I started around the time our son was born was also football season. And he's a big football person, and so I started doing appetizers and things like that just for us, but it was a moment where I could kind of just get out of my own head, and so he encouraged me to keep doing that, and maybe for himself. But it was also a piece, getting a piece of me back and doing that.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I love moments like that because I think they remind us that sometimes the smallest acts of love become the ones we remember the most. Whether it's making a meal, holding the baby so someone can rest, sitting together in silence, or simply saying, I'm here. And I think that's something every relationship can learn from. Whether postpartum depression is part of your story or not. I'd love to talk about what healing looked like for the two of you. Not the perfect version, but the real version. Because I think that's where hope begins. One thing I've been thinking about while listening to both of you today is how easy it is for two people to be carrying something incredibly heavy without fully realizing what the other person is carrying too. Destiny, you were trying to survive each day, and Tali, you were trying to figure out how to love and support the woman you married while also becoming a new dad. Neither of you stopped loving each other. You were simply trying to survive one of life's hardest seasons. I think that's something so many couples can relate to. Tali, looking back now, what's something you wish every partner understood about supporting someone through postpartum depression?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
That's okay. Looking back now, what's something that you wish every partner understood about supporting someone through postpartum depression?
It's hard. you not knowing what's going on through your wife's mind, but also trying to like be there for your child, be the perfect husband, be the perfect dad. So just keep putting your full effort into everything you do.
I think there's a misconception that supporting someone means having all the right answers. Sometimes support looks like listening. It looks like sitting quietly beside someone, and it's simply reminding them they aren't carrying everything alone. Destiny, when you hear Tali say that, what's going through your mind?
I mean, I agree with him. I think that sorry, I don't want to cry. I definitely think that, I look back and I wish that I was more present, just because, like he said, he was also a first-time parent, and now when he looks back, that time is also hard instead of like joyful,
Yeah. I think one of the most beautiful things about today's conversation is that you're hearing each other's hearts in a way you may not have during that season. Not because you weren't communicating, but because sometimes survival leaves very little room for reflection. Tali, I'd love to ask something that's been on my mind. Looking back, when did you first notice that life was beginning to feel a little lighter again? Not perfect, just a little lighter.
I would say probably around our son's first birthday. You can see just more light coming from Destiny. Just happier, more talkative, wanting to get out a little more. So yeah, probably about a year. Our first, Manaya's first birthday.
Destiny, how about you? When was the first time you remember thinking, I'm finally beginning to breathe again?
Yeah, I would say probably around the same time. I think we started to do different things. Like I said, he encouraged me to kind of find who I was, So the cooking, or I started exercising more, or he would encourage me to go get my nails done, just to give myself time. So, and it was all kind of around that time that I think I started to get myself back.
I love that your answers are exactly the same. It reminds me that healing doesn't always happen in one big moment. Sometimes it's only when you reach a milestone, like a first birthday, that you realize, we made it. We're here. We got through it together. Destiny, I'd love to ask you, what part of yourself are you most grateful you never lost, even though postpartum depression tried to convince you otherwise?
Probably just still caring for others. I think that we do as a family have a big heart, and so still trying to show up as best as we could. I think that's probably what I would say. On the other end, I would say that postpartum, or just having a kid in general, changed me in a way that I used to be kind of a pushover. I still can be, but I think that it's also taught me to put boundaries, and part of that was postpartum depression. I started putting up some walls, and while that part wasn't the best, it also did kind of teach me that it's okay to put boundaries around things, and not let people push your buttons or push you around. And so I think there is some teaching to come out of it.
Thank you for sharing that. Tali, when you look at Destiny today, what qualities do you see in her that maybe she couldn't see in herself during that season?
just her showing up for her son. She felt like she wasn't doing enough every day, which in my mind she was doing an amazing job. Everything that she could do as a mother. Just caring for Manaya and I.
How does it feel hearing him describe you that way?
Good. I mean, it was a hard time, so it's good to see that he still sees good pieces of it, you know.
I think we all need someone in our lives who reminds us who we are, especially during seasons when we struggle to recognize ourselves. What's something the two of you do today that probably seems completely ordinary to everyone else, but means so much because of everything you've walked through together?
I think now it took us a long time to get here. Like even kind of after getting out of postpartum depression, I think we've been kind of figuring out like who we are, you know, together, and I think we're trying to be more intentional now. So, you know, just sitting on the couch for 5 minutes to just remind each other that like we are here, which is like a normal everyday thing, but it's just being intentional.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. It was just a little effort that you put in to each other. Like I said, everything that adds up is to the bigger picture, to be happier as a family.
Yeah. I love that because healing isn't always found in big moments. Sometimes it's hidden inside ordinary Tuesdays, inside bedtime routines, morning coffee, a quiet conversation after Naya goes to sleep. Those little moments become extraordinary because you know what it took to get there. I'd love to ask one final question before we move into the last part of today's conversation. If postpartum were sitting here with us today, what would each of you want to say to it? Take your time. There's no right answer.
I think just that we made it out, you know. It was rough, and it definitely, you know, carried on even after, but I think we're finally getting to a place where life is kind of what we were hoping for, you know, or what we saw in the future. So
Postpartum is full of emotions, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But you can also help yourself by showing up for your partner, yourself, and your children.
Thank you. I think your answers say something really important. Postpartum depression may always be a part of your story, but it doesn't get to write the ending. You do. And in the final part of today's conversation, I'd love to talk about the legacy your story leaves behind. What you hope other mothers, other partners, and other family members take away from everything you've shared today. Sometimes the hardest seasons of our lives become the ones that quietly shape us into who we're meant to be, or who we're meant to become. Not because we would ever choose them, but because of what they teach us. When you look back now, what do you think this season taught you about loving someone?
You love someone through the good and through the bad. Not that anything was like extremely bad, but you know, you see parts of your partner that you haven't seen before, and you would do anything just to get them to laugh a little, smile a little.
I love that. Because love isn't always found in the big moments. Choosing grace, choosing to stay present when you don't have all the answers. Destiny, what do you think this season taught you about yourself? Not who you were during postpartum depression, but who you've become because you made it through.
I think it's taught me to be stronger, or maybe not taught me to be stronger, but taught me that I am strong, you know? And that, I'm just grateful that I had a partner to show up, and I think that's really all, you know, just, it's hard to look back now and see, like, who you were versus who you are now, and not be sad for, like, that time, especially, hearing, like, your partner talk and then realizing, you know, how hard it was for them too, and not just yourself. So I think it's just shown me that we are strong together, you know, as a family, and we could probably conquer the world at this point. So
Thank you. I think that's something so many women needed to hear. Because healing isn't about becoming someone new. Sometimes it's discovering just how strong you've been all along. Looking back now, what's something the two of you talk about differently because of this experience? Maybe it's mental health, asking for help, or just checking in with one another.
I think we check in with each other more now than, you know, at that time.
Yeah.
Because you just didn't know what was going on in your head, my wife's head.
Yeah.
But yeah, asking a simple question like, are you okay? Or how was your day? Stuff like that really brightens the mood.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would agree. We definitely tried to communicate more. I think neither of us are very good at that. And so just part of being intentional, right? And making sure that we're, you know, checking in or communicating if we feel, you know, down that day or not. So making sure that our partner's a little bit more aware of how we're feeling, because I think during that time it was hard to express it. And now being out of it, we just know that conquering it together is probably our best bet.
I love that. One thing I've learned from today's conversation is that healing doesn't erase what happened. It changes how we carry it. Tali, is there something you understand about postpartum depression today that you wish you had understood back then?
That it's possible for anyone to get postpartum depression. Because I've heard about it, I just, you know, me being younger, obviously not the most wise, I didn't even think my wife would even have a chance of feeling this way. So it would be, just pay attention a little more.
Destiny, was there something you wish people had understood about postpartum depression without you having to explain it?
Not really. Maybe just like giving grace, you know, because I think maybe others saw it, or like my husband saw it, and could understand that something was different, and he gave me grace in that time. And so I think that maybe it's more me being hard on myself, you know, but just hoping that other people didn't see you down that way. Or I just hoped, you know, like I didn't want other people to see me and think like I wasn't doing my part as a mom or as a spouse. And so I would say that I hope people can see others in postpartum depression and give them the grace that they need to kind of heal and get through it.
I think that's such an important reminder. Not everyone will understand what someone is experiencing, but everyone has the ability to lead with compassion. I'd love to ask something a little different. Imagine another younger couple is sitting and listening right now. Maybe they're in the middle of postpartum depression. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're wondering if life will ever feel normal again. What would each of you want them to know?
that postpartum depression is not forever. If you keep working on communicating with your partner and trying to deal with their face on, then just like throwing it under the rug.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that. I think something that we didn't do during that time, and a lot of it was because I wasn't ready, but I don't think that we took advantage of our village. We had a lot of people there to help us. My mother-in-law, his mom, was there to help, and I don't even know that we went on a date. We've probably gone like maybe a handful since our son was born, and so just accepting the help from others, because it could help you, reconnecting with your husband or give you a piece of like yourself back. And so I would say, while it's hard in that moment, maybe just letting others be there for you.
I truly hope someone listening holds on to those words, because I think hope often begins with hearing, "I've been there too." One thing I don't want this episode to do is leave people thinking they're expected to navigate postpartum depression alone. If someone is listening today and they're struggling or recognize themselves in parts of this conversation, I want you to know this. You deserve hope, you deserve compassion, and you deserve help. There are people out there who care about you, whether that's a partner, a trusted friend, a family member, or even a healthcare provider. Please know that asking for help is one of the strongest things you can do. Before we finish today, there's one last conversation I'd love for us to have together. Not about postpartum depression, but about gratitude, about the people sitting beside us during life's hardest seasons, and about what we want them to know. As we get ready to wrap up today's conversation, I just want to take a moment and thank both of you, not just for coming on the podcast, but for trusting us with one of the most vulnerable chapters of your lives. I know revisiting these memories isn't easy, and I don't take that lightly. One of the things I love most about our silent journey is that every episode reminds us we're never as alone as we think we are. Sometimes all it takes is hearing someone else say, "Me too," and I have a feeling that's exactly what your story is going to do for someone listening today. Before we finish, I'd love to do something a little different. I'd like the two of you to take a moment and simply talk to one another. Not as guests, not for the listeners, just as husband and wife. Tali, if you could sit beside the version of Destiny who is in the middle of postpartum depression, what would you want her to know today? Take your time, there's no rush.
Hey, you're an amazing mother. Amazing wife. I can't tell you how proud I am of you. Because for the first, I would say, year, you single-handedly kept our son alive. He was just always attached to you. I could hold him, but he just wanted his mom. You just did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Destiny, if you could sit beside the version of yourself who believed she'd never feel like herself again, what would you whisper to her today?
Just that there will be a light at the end of the tunnel, and that you have an amazing husband sitting next to you who's gonna support you through it. So go through all the motions, but you will get there.
Thank you both. I don't think there are words that could fully capture what it means to witness a conversation like that. Listening to the two of you today, I'm reminded that love isn't measured by having all the answers. It's measured by choosing one another, especially on days when life feels incredibly heavy. Before we finish, I'd love to ask each one of you one final question. When Naya grows up someday and is old enough to listen to this conversation, what do you hope he learns about the kind of love the two of you share?
I hope that he can look back at growing up and see a strong family, hopefully bring that into his own relationships in the future, and know that not everything is, gonna be easy, but if you stick by your partner and, trust the love that you guys have, I think that, just know that everything will be okay.
I would say just having the love that you have for your partner, showing that, when you love someone, everything is worth it. And not everything's gonna be easy. No relationship is perfect. But you keep showing up for your loved ones.
I love that, because one day, Naya won't just hear a story about postpartum depression. He's going to hear a story about resilience, about compassion, about choosing each other, and about showing up, even when life is hard. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts a parent can leave behind. I'd love for each of you to leave one sentence for the person listening who feels alone tonight. It doesn't have to be perfect, just speak from your heart.
You are more than enough.
Oh, that's good. I would say just to stay strong.
Yeah. Thank you, truly. I hope every person listening remembers something we've said throughout today's conversation. Healing doesn't happen because we pretend we're okay. Healing begins when we feel safe enough to tell the truth. And sometimes the bravest thing we can say is, "I'm not okay." If today's episode resonated with you or reminded you of someone you love, I hope you'll share it. Not because we want another download, but because someone you know may need to hear these words today. Destiny, Tali, thank you. Your courage, your honesty, and your willingness to let us into your lives is a gift. I know there are going to be families who feel seen because of you, and I feel incredibly grateful that you trusted me to help tell your story. To everyone listening, thank you for continuing to make our silent journey a place where people feel safe enough to share the stories they've carried in silence. No matter what season you're walking through, I hope you remember this. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of support, and you never have to carry life's hardest moments alone. I'm Felicia, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for walking this journey with us. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with one another, and remember, even in the quietest seasons, hope still has a voice.